I booked an MOT for this car, so I thought I'd better put it on the ramp and have a good look around. I focused on the wheel on the front driver's side because I could hear a clonk. I had a good look under here and immediately the spring didn't look quite right. And when I had a fish around, look, bottom of the spring is broken. So clearly I need a new spring. Fortunately, Euro Car Parts produced a new spring. So my MOT for tomorrow is still on, providing I can get this fitted. Let's get cracking. Next, we've got to take the bottom of the shock out. That was easy enough. Next job, let's get the top of the turret free. So there's three 1/2 inch bloody Ford are all Imperial mix, it seems. Anyway, we'll get these loose. Had to remove the lower wishbone. Once I'd got that, the whole assembly would come off. I've then used a chisel to split the union slightly, so that allows the shock absorber to come free. With the tie rod released from the side of the shock, we're now ready to take the shock out. Finally. Well, that was a right game. My spring compressors aren't quite long enough, so I actually had to clamp it below my 4-post ramp to push it down and then put the spring compressors on. So I didn't video that bit because it was a little bit leery. However, it's now on. The bolt at the bottom is tightened. I've now got to take the compression spring, and again, it's a little bit tricky. Although I had actually got the strut assembled, I later discovered that it wasn't correct. So although I got it on the car, I had to take it off again a lot later. This was about to cause me serious pain. I trod on a tool and really badly twisted my ankle, which took me off my feet for several days. The strut actually was assembled, but the car was still 3-wheeled and I had to leave it alone to rest. I decided that the method of operation was rather dangerous, so I bought this kit. As the strut was incorrectly assembled and I'd realised the top wasn't right, I had to take it apart anyway. This was achieved with the new tool, which made life so much easier than the previous spring compressors, which really are too short and didn't do the job properly at all. This made the job so much safer and better. Right, so this is the spring compressed. The rubber on this end goes on the seat here, and my mistake the first time round was that this plastic cover actually sits quite snugly in there, and I assumed it sat in here. So that sits on top and is part of this revolving turret, which I'll put some grease around, and that sits in there, and then this top bit goes on top of that, and that's what swivels. Reassembly was straightforward, but even so, I still had to compress the spring far more than I expected to, but the kit took it.
What did you actually do with the spring? Is it a new spring?
Yeah, the old spring's broke. Look, it's lost its bottom bit. It's clean off. I think that's That's about the best we're going to get again. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more. I struggled to get this lower wishbone knuckle free. But I did have this rather large D-link. I put the D-link over the lower wishbone, and then I put a crowbar underneath, lined it up, and that allowed me to move the wishbone and get the wishbone pulled down and removed. It was a bit more difficult to get it out because it was jammed, but once I've managed to get that in and I can move that quite easily with my hand, I can then put the bolt back in. Once it's reassembled like it is now, it's relatively easy to put the bolt in, but I am going to put a bit of thread lock on because there was the remains of that on the thread on the other side. So that should pop through. Put some thread lock the other side and do it up. Be back with you in a bit. Again, a little bit of thread lock to hold the screws in on the brakes. A quick torque up. And I'll check all the rest. So that's this side complete with the new spring and everything else buttoned up. Let's get the wheel back on. It's been a horrible job. So it's almost a week later and the car is now finished. I've still got to organise an MOT. Fingers crossed it will pass. If you like what you see, do like and subscribe and comment and all the other things that help me get to YouTube in my quest to get to 1,000 subscribers. If not, please enjoy and we'll see you next time. Find out what's broken or needs fixing another time. We'll see you another time. Thanks for watching.